Hello and welcome to the AstroPub. My name is Paul Berserker01 Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the pub, your space bar at the end of the universe. This is the Captain's Table. The Captain's Table is a podcast where I bring people from all over the Star Citizen universe to talk about Star Citizen in terms of news, lore, updates, theory crafting. You know it. You talk about the game. We've been going now for 8 years. And we're, I think, the second oldest Star Citizen podcast that still exists. And it's funny because I've heard some people say that, oh, well, if this is based off your views, if this is the second oldest, then, you know, Star Citizen's in trouble. It's like, my brother in Christ, just because I'm old doesn't mean I'm popular.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
But anyways, welcome to the Captain's Table. Before we get started, I'm going to introduce both of our guests. I'm going to start with Mr. Moon himself. He is the Moon. That is just him. That is a live stream. That is his actual face. Mr. Red J, who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen? And where can they find you?
So my name is Red J. Hello to those who know me. Hello to anybody who is surprised to see a moon here. I do YouTube content for Star Citizen. I cover lore. I cover analytics for new ships, different areas. One of the things I've recently got in the past couple of years now, been deep into exploring new areas like the jump gates and other things like that. If you ever want to check me out, it's YouTube/C/RedJ. And I'm also active on Discords and Reddits, of course, like everyone here. And I'm glad to be here to chat with y'all.
Awesome. And then we've got the ever awesome, ever fearsome, the facemaker herself, Miss Buster the Destroyer. Who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen? Where can they find you?
Hi, my name's Buster Destroyer. I always lately what I've been saying on my own stream is typically I'm a Star Citizen streamer, but lately I'm a cowboy. I'm girl, you're a cowboy now. I've been playing RDR too.
You've been doing a lot of open world games, which is cool. It's been watching.
Yeah, I played Oblivion. Somebody suggested I play Skyrim too soon, probably after RDR. I've been really enjoying just like getting back into a couple single players and finishing them.
Ooh.
Yes. You know what you would like? Even though I know you're a Star Trek fan, you would probably like Star Wars Outlaws. That would be a game that you would really be able to sink
maybe. I do like adventure and stuff like that. So, and I love, I'm a big fan of Mass Effect. Anyway, but yeah, so I haven't been playing as much Star Citizen lately. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I try so hard.
I haven't either.
I've been nonstop for years. Okay, give the girl some time.
It's been great watching you play Oblivion. It's been fun watching you play Oblivion because it's like I haven't played this game in a while, and seeing your take on it, which is just this like super.
I'm the queen of all the murderers.
Yes.
I'm the arrow queen. And I'm there.
Arrow Queen.
Yeah. But anyway, so twitch.tv/Buster Destroyer, blah 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 blah. Sorry. And the thing is though, I am very particularly I try not to toot my own horn too much, but I'm pretty good at making faces on the character creator, baby. So I'm here to talk about that. Because I've made so many dudes. I have to, because if I say, "Oh, I've done so many guys,"
it doesn't matter either way. That's both funny.
Right, but like I've made so many more men than I have women.
Yeah,
and I have like I feel really excited about some of the stuff that came out on ISC this week, and I have reasons. So
yeah,
I'll shut up and we can start the show.
Well, I called this show this episode "Style Over Substance" or style and substance, not over substance, because I personally think that all three of us agree that style is very important to Star Citizen, not only because of telling stories in the game, but being an MMO. I cannot underestimate the importance of style. The long time joke, which is not a joke, I think it's a good just rule of thumb for game developers. So if you're an aspiring game developer, somehow finding this random Star Citizen podcast, the rule of thumb I would say for any live service game is style is the end game. Fashion is always the end game. And if you do not give your players fashion, you're going to regret it because no one's going to stick around. And with that in mind, we need to talk a little bit about how Star Citizen does that right now. Because last time I had Red J and Buster on, we talked about this, and I think it was just before 3.23 went live, or just after 3.23. It was just before.
I have to look.
It was.
It was right around. It was either one or the other, right on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Just on the other side of it.
So,
whatever side it was.
So I'll start with you, Buster, since you're the last one to introduce yourself. Based off of, since our last conversation, how do you feel about how Star Citizen currently does customization, both in terms of characters and in terms of things like ships or armor, just the general like the way you can customize your character?
I think there's a lot of like armor sets to get out there, and things like that. Like there's plenty of stuff in the game and then there's more like all the time. Certainly would like to see like more of certain types of things, and we have gotten some of those. Like, we used to have a lot of utility based stuff, and then eventually we did start getting some high fashion, or some higher fashion at least, in places like Orison. And whereas you have like more utility at Lorville, Microtech can kind of be very high fashion too, but has but Orison even also has like some work. It's kind of a mix in game. Ship customization. I have seen some discourse lately, and when I say discourse, I don't mean it like in this but just discussion, I guess is the better word, about I've seen people say like why should I care about the character creator so much when like I want ship customization, I care more about that. And I think that's pretty valid, but at the same time, like I feel like we'll get into more of that later, but at the end of the day, it's skins or money. And money or skins. All right. But I'm not saying that's wrong or right. It's just the fact at the moment. Sure, would I like more ship customization? Yeah. And would I like more variety in the paint colors that are available? Yeah. Would I like to maybe even like I would pay like a couple bucks to make my own paint color? Sure. But I understand like the want to kind of unify aesthetics to some degree in certain ways, or direct art as it were. But yeah, and then like and then finally with character customization, like the tool. I like, as it said before, like we'll go over it as we get into it, but like as overall, like I've felt the limitations of it because I've done so much of it. I think I put in like a pretty solid 40 hours total on just characters. And I got to the point where I could do one in less than 30 minutes. So that tells you how many I've made. Like I've made a lot. Like I made over like 100 people in the community and stuff like that. So there's a lot to get into, like subject by subject. But overall, like I felt the limitations, and there are some things I'm really excited that are coming along, particularly stubble.
We'll talk about this a little bit as well, because like things wanted to add. But I'll ask the same question for you. Just a good starter, Red J. How is your opinions on customization in Star Citizen? How has that changed since the last time we talked? Either on the character creator, the armor, or ships, in general. How custom, you can make your own style in Star Citizen.
I wanted to nod in chat, Maverick, mentioning clothes over spacesuits, and yes, we all know we all really want it, because that would greatly add utility and practicality to dressing up in fashion and such. But on the bigger topic, I gotta say, one of the biggest things for me with character creator, I'm not making a whole bunch of different ones. I make my own, and I've basically made my character, and then every single PTU, I click. So I upload my save, I hit go, and I don't have to redesign the character every single build, which is a massive thing. So I can
huge win.
Yeah, you can be custom, you can be yourself, and you can also just get the heck in the game, and kind of that takes a big chunk of time back to me to test it's, you don't have to play that game of, do I want to be NPC 1001 or like
it opens the simple possibility of consistency. It opens the wide possibility of greater play.
Absolutely. And I mean, back to, I think Buster gave a nod to the different places. I'm not going to rehash that, but I do like that each each planetary landing location in Stanton has its own style. They do have their own benefits and drawbacks to their style and fashion. They do have some utility. I personally spend a lot of time in New Babbage, so going to the Commons and seeing clothes for colder weather wear makes sense, and it really feels right. Or going to
Yeah.
Orison, I treat it like a vacation going to Orison. On certain builds, I'll spawn there and set my home there. And getting like the shirt, it feels like a Hawaiian shirt. It's like an Orison space platform is the shirt I like the most.
Mhm.
You know, like I do little things like that, and then layering. One of the biggest things I wish they would do more of is open the jackets. So there's a few different jackets I really wish they would allow me to
Have
change
different
them up.
states.
Yes, like
Oh,
like you.
that's so. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, there's like that's like an
Ah,
easy win. They're already modeled those jackets. It shouldn't be that hard to just
Norton,
create like
you're a genius. Sorry.
so like look
Jesus.
down, PIT, look down and do the wheel and literally just open the jacket, close the jacket would be a huge, 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 huge win for me anyway. Um, one last thing, ships wise, I think one of the biggest things for ships is like when we finally get the suit lockers to work, I hope they
Mhm.
do something similar for clothing. So both suits and armor and such, and then on the other side, clothing. I I feel like there's going to be a massive change in like how people view clothing. Right now, it's kind of a pain,
Yeah.
especially with the new inventory restriction where you have to be at a storage location or you have to physically grab the item. I think if you have those suit lockers on ships you use day to day as your daily drivers, you'll be able to just yank it out and go. And hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to switch out to hazmat gear. I'm going to switch out to, zero G equipment. I think people will be more considerate of that.
All right.
No. I will say in my own experience, I think I'm pretty sure it was before our last one was before the 3.23 went live, because I don't think we knew that we would be able to save all of the files yet. I think it was pretty like they had just done the IAE about it, and they were kind of mentioning that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I think the one thing I will say is I was very surprised. I was not expecting them to have the character save situation and import. That has been a game changer in terms of anything you want to do. It makes life so much easier. And that small little feature, not even just the export, just to be able to save and then be able to import it into a new file, that allows for people to actually care about their looks, because no one wants to redo it over and over and over and over and over and over again, because that's just a pain in the butt. And once it starts to matter, it matters. So I will say that has been a huge improvement. I will say overall the customization, CIG did release a bunch of new armors, and the one thing I love about this is that the styles. The style of the Dusters armor that they've come out with, the ideas of like these like legendary armors and such, giving some more style to a region is fantastic, and it's something they've been working on. And seeing the armors they've done for at least it's not in game yet.
Fire rats.
They started doing it, and then they've only done it like more and more and more and better over the last couple of years, especially. It's been really cool.
But it's stuff we've
For
seen
sure.
for Pyro, for like
Right.
the headhunters and the Rough and Ready and Xenothreat and Citizens for Pyro. All of their kind of outfits are starting to kind of align a little bit, and you're starting to see them, which is important. The theater kid in me is like, costuming. You're getting the right costume, because people need to know like
I mean, this
who
is the
who
kind
from
of
a
game,
glance.
though.
Yeah.
It's a good comparison because, like, I always liken games to theater rather than movies, because I think they really can be theater. And the thing is like this is the kind of game, like if a group of people got together and wanted to stage the Tempest,
Mhm.
which would be the perfect freaking play to
Yes.
do in Star Citizen. But like you could do the Tempest in Star Citizen. You could do the Barber of Seville. You could do like if you had the right people, if you had people together that had those talents and the right group of people, you could do it. That's the greatest thing about the game.
We just need portable lights.
Please, yes.
Like all is possible, including blowing up arrows with gurneys. But that's when I do that girl stuff. But
we do have portable lights on the pride of our list. Oh yeah, but we'd be able to purchase them. There, Darsh. Yeah, I agree. I think that is the case because games are improv theater in terms of everything because
so costuming matters. Like
you need
the
to be able
way
to see
things
everything.
look, the environments, the stages. Like even you could even talk about customization of like what do you call it? It's like places down the line. Like this could be a thing that includes like architecture.
Mm-hmm. And
you know,
and that's very important because in a gameplay sense as well, you need to be able to notice what you're looking at from a distance because often
there's some really theatrical places in this game.
Oh yeah. Orison. We've talked about Orison. Orison is a I joke that it's the scene of every anime rom-com, high school rom-com you've ever seen, but it really is. It's
you know what it is about Orison? You know what it is? Levels.
Yeah.
Levels. Like I could see a house at Orison having a conversation pit.
Yeah.
Levels.
Well, it's that, and it's the color choices, the pastels. Yeah. It's the sort of very soft.
It matches the sky. Yeah.
Yeah. It matches.
Yeah.
It's all about they understood CIG's.
They understood how to brand a gas giant.
Yes. They understood the assignment when it came to like lighting, like how lighting affects everything in there, and that's one of the things that in theater you learn so much. And yeah, it's important in movies and theater, or movies and TV shows. But you have complete control over lighting in movies and even what direction people are seeing you in. But as we're saying, theater, you have no control over which direction an audience member is seeing you in. They could be seeing you from the back. They could be seeing you from the front. They can see you from way up high. So you have to make sure that everything looks good at all angles in the lighting you have. And so they did a really good job of that sort of thing. So I always say they have done a very good job at leaning into their strengths and really starting to nail down the distinctiveness, because you're going to need to be able to know at a glance that's a headhunter, that's a citizen for Citizens for Prosperity, that's a Rough and Ready. You need to, because if you don't know who they are and you walk up on them and you don't have a good reputation, they may just start shooting at you. So that's
or you may shoot at the wrong person.
Yeah. And then you're wanted by Hurston because you accidentally hit one of their security officers in a mission.
Oh, they're fascists.
Yeah, they are.
I don't like them. Hurstonians. Well, not the Hurstonians, the Hurstons.
The Hurstons themselves.
Yeah. Hurstonians are a different matter.
What was I going to say? Oh, the next one. Let's talk a little bit about the character creator specifically. Red J, I'll start with you on this one. We did just get an ISC about character creation in terms of like the improvements. Was there anything that stuck out to you in terms of the character creator stuff that they're doing?
Real life, I don't have any tattoos. In real life, don't have any piercings. But those two things certainly stuck out to me, and they made it feel more real. And in a game, I think people want to live the fantasy of a game that's like hyper fun, like hyper. There's some fancy word, I'm sure, but the point is that you want to be standing out. Before this stream, we were talking about like bright colors and such, and I'm not going to steal Buster's thunder, but I think a little bit of that is like the flash, in that I feel like these can make people kind of express themselves and show that flash in general, and they're kind of filling in the gaps. So I really appreciate those.
You're a villain, all right, but you're not super. Yeah, what's the difference? Presentation, that sort of thing. That you got to have that flash, and that's that. I agree with you on that one. Buster, your thoughts on the stuff, the changes they showed off to the character creator?
Wait, the one the thing that takes their shirts off? What?
No.
What did you say?
The thoughts on the character creator, the changes they're making with the character creator.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Buster is thinking
No.
about shirtless men again.
No, I never wear shirts in games. This is like Buster lore. This is like deep cut Buster lore. I if you see me wearing a shirt in Star Citizen, like it's either because I'm trying to achieve something very specific or something's wrong.
So if she's wearing a shirt in Star Citizen, she's under duress.
Check
Just know
on
that.
me.
Yeah.
Check on me. I like to do the jacket with no shirt thing. I think it's cool. But anyway, but yeah, so the thing is that I was really excited about Stubble. Like I said earlier, I was super excited about Stubble. Now I know that many of you are going, Buster, you seem like a lady person. Why would you be so excited about men's stubble? Well, let me tell you. The reason is because I have, like I said earlier, have made so many men in the community. And here's what I need from the character creator overall. I need a, like you ever heard build a bear workshop?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You could have build a beard, okay? Where I get to decide the different aspects of the beard.
You could have just left that. You want to build a bear workshop in Star Citizen, and I would have still understood it. So,
right, but
just build a bear. Because how many Star Citizen men are bears in reality? It's a little bit of LGBTQ joke there.
Yes. The cutesy one, very demure. How cutesy of you. But the thing is the reason I want to be able to build a beard is because, like, I can't tell you how many times I felt extremely limited by the beard selection, because they'll have so many of them where the mustache is connected, and there's been like so many guys that I've made that I'm like, they have a mustache and a beard, but they don't have them connected like a wrestler, or a cowboy, but they'll have like the thing, and then maybe something here, or like some chop or what. And chopping but you can't mix and match there. And I want it like in RDR2. Ooh, by the way, my Arthur, he is so dashing. He has like the perfect outfit in fictional Louisiana. It's wonderful.
Does he have the
crimson? He's like it's like I thought of like the vampire movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Interview with the Vampire.
Where they're like Cajun vampires. I love that shit. But sorry.
By the way, you should watch the TV show. They remade it as a TV show.
Oh, I've heard that's a pretty good show. But anyway,
it takes place at turn of the century Louisiana too. So
I love crimson in like Louisiana. I don't know why. But anyway, like the thing being is I would really like to be able to have more control over the exacts of the beard. Like I want to separate mustaches and full and like beard and like this. I want more option. I want a Star Trek one, like the little Spock point, things like that with the little mutton chops, whatever they're called. But all that stuff, like I want like a deeper control. Like I want to be able to like mix beards like a DJ. Like you got a long beard. This one's got braids. To
have more statuses, right? So be able to have more like granular control.
Yeah, like it would be cool, but I understand like the convenience of just making looks and like kind of figuring it out from there. But please, CIG, let me mix and match beard stuff and facial hair, because that would be really helpful to get the most accurate with some of their beards. I care about your beards, okay? Gosh. Finally, I've admitted it. I care about your beards. I want them to be happy. I want them to look right. Anyway, I'll shut up now.
You're good. So anything else, or is that just that one?
That was my beard rant.
I will say I'm very happy for the hairstyles. I am by no means an expert at different hairs, but I do love the cheeky side of when they were starting the hair customization talk. They immediately showed all of the the black hair, the like the dreads and the braid, the cornrows and stuff like that. That's more
such a huge
It's a huge difference. To me, at least, it was a difference.
Oh my God.
I tried to reach out to Fastcart to get him on, but Fastcart wasn't paying attention. So
texture was on point and so amazing.
it looked
super excited.
To me, it looked a lot better. And then I found it was cheeky because they showed it off, and then they immediately went to everyone's favorite hairstyle, which is the mullet. Business in the front, party in the back. And we're like,
that's a good mullet
now.
too. Like they made it.
Yeah,
that's a good mullet cut. Like that is an excellent mullet cut. Good job. I don't know who's like designing hair at CIG, who all is doing it, but that's a great mullet. That's the mullet team deserves like mullet wigs. It
is not they did not half-ass that mullet at all.
And literally like I would take those mullet wigs to a hairdresser and be like, can you get it as close to this as possible? Like this real shaggy, fun mullet. I like the shaggy bounce mullet. It's the best mullet.
Building on that a little bit, they did show a little bit of hats under long hair.
They did.
It seemed like they were much cleaner, and it looked really good.
I noticed that too.
I like the twin the twin braids they did because I don't think they have a lot of braids in there, and braids as
they were pretty.
Yeah, as a man who's been trying to learn how to braid hair better because just in
what
general.
Kinds of braids? I need to look at those again because I wondered. I guess they're a French braid. Maybe
they're French braid. I think it's a French braid.
Yeah, because they're so tied up on the head like that. That's a French braid. Yeah.
And like they did a really good job in terms of just how the layers work and for the colors as well, because like the colors can only cover the braids rather than necessarily covering the whole hair and the right style. Because
like how many games have you played where like the braids like literally it's just highlight on, it's not like woven in, like they're weaving it. They weave the hair. They don't just put hair together and color it like
they don't do the like wig style. They don't do the wig style where like they make a base wig and then they have like a clip that you can like put into the wig to make it look like it's braided.
Like it's strands of hair interacting with each other,
Yeah.
So it's pretty baller.
So that, and of course the tattoos, and I was not expecting the piercings. Those are all look very interesting.
The tattoos makes me wonder if maybe there's more makeup looks that can come around too, because there's like stuff I would do with makeup that I would never tattoo, but like I would put like like around how like what's it, Coramore Space Valentines, as my friend John calls it every time I talk about it. But put like a little heart like on the cheek, like I do that every year, and I love like little details like that in makeup, or like a beauty mark. I would love like a couple little makeup like details like that are just like random placements of something. Like a little heart, a little, maybe you have like a little,
CIG may be watching you. They watch all of us all the time because did you not see the heart on the cheek that they had?
Right, but that's a tattoo.
Yeah, true.
That's a tattoo.
I'm talking about like temporary, like something that's more makeup based. Not even
like something that could run if I'm sad.
Oh,
because stupid space boys made me cry.
Or get dirty and rub off.
That would never happen.
No, mascara made in Lorville.
Yeah, no, but like no, like you know what I mean. Like that's cool. Like I would use the tattoo for that for sure. But I would like to be able to like remove that stuff. So I mean, I guess I just have to make the same character with like different versions of the tattoos or whatever. But it would be cool if there was like a little more, like more than 6 makeup, like eyeshadows, more than 6. Lip styles. Some of the lip styles are pretty like wild, to be honest. Like they're very, very crazy. And I'm like, oh man, I just want like a really good one that I could just blend. It's like a single color, but you can't.
I will say that is the one thing that I'd like to see them do a little bit more is makeup and how makeup is applied, because again, as a theater child, as a child of the theater, you learn about makeup a lot in theater because, for those who don't know, you can't see features from far away. And so you need to heavily accent your face with makeup to pull out the right things. Men and
like
women.
You look at stuff like what is it, the like the Chinese and like operas, like stuff like that, like especially in Asia, like they have they have those masks with like the huge, like very thick detail.
Yeah.
because the whole idea is like you're being seen from probably like 30 feet or something away.
Yeah.
And
lighting is
they're
not
just
great.
very expressive. It's like the same, like Greeks did the same thing. They have masks to express different emotions because there's so many people watching from far distances. So
And when you're dealing with something like Star Citizen, like, yeah, you can see a lot of details, but like you still need to have that sort of that detail where you can pull things out because CIG is going for a more realistic look. So if you had something that was more like cartoony or like more like anime style or more like cell shaded, you wouldn't really need that much because it would just you could kind of see the face a little bit, features a little bit more. But they're going for more realism, and because they're going for more realism, the features can kind of just be without like details. And so I think CIG, one thing I would like to defend this is do a little bit more of those sorts of like more granular on the makeup and the colors need to become a little bit more less of a like I'm going out to a club in Berlin at 4 a.m. For a rave and more of a I got to go to work tomorrow. I got to go to work in 2 hours sort of thing. So
but also like I hope that like more body like obviously like body tattoos and things like that come along too, because like being able to do stuff with your character's body a bit more like that can be more subtle, right? Like it was like Jared made the joke like what do like neck tattoos say, man? like he has a point. I'm not saying it's true. I mean I've even dated a guy with neck tattoos and all that. So, no judgments any, but it does have like it is an aesthetic. It is a choice. It is a very bold choice.
And typically when somebody has a neck tattoo, they usually don't just have a neck tattoo. They usually have other tattoos that complement
Yeah, they have a lot of other tattoos,
And that's usually that. Go ahead, Ray.
All right. Just real quick, in The Expanse, one of the reasons they have so many tattoos on their neck is because
oh right, yeah, I forgot about that.
They're always wearing undersuits. They're always wearing the equivalent of what we would call an undersuit. And if it's not on your face, it's not on your neck, people don't see it. The hairstyles they chose
I never
were designed
thought
to
about
fit
it like
inside
that.
helmets. Yeah, so like when you read the books, it's like it goes through a lot of that, and it does shine through a little bit in the show. Fantastic show, but the thing is, like over on the Star Citizen side, we're in the same kind of culture.
Yeah,
like if
you're 100% right. I bow to that 100%. That is new information. Like that's a new perspective that I have been met with. That I'm like, oh, not that I'm not judging neck tattoos, but you put it in a new perspective where I'm like, that contextualizes a face tattoo in space more, even more to be more averaged out. Like it's maybe a kind of common thing.
If you're going to see somebody even on a daily basis, you're going to see them through the face shield. So
yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
And at most, they'll take the helmet off.
Yeah.
Like they hop onto your ship, they're shaking your hand, take the helmet off, and that's all you're going to see of them.
Yeah.
I do think there's still places because it's not just space; it's also ground based, and you have to have those sort of full body tattoos for people who want to go insane. But I agree, and the fun part is, if I remember correctly, the neck tattoos, which they actually did have a belt or neck tattoo as one of the things they showed off. It's clearly a Expanse inspired belt or neck tattoos. One of the reasons why they're so prominent in belter culture is because early suits would burn your neck if you because they were like so tight, and so they would often have these marks around their neck. Brands, and so instead of having these brands, they wanted to either tattooed over them so that they could like make them look more stylish, or they wanted to wear them as a reminder of their culture of people who grew up in zero
kind of
G.
Like certain cultures that like what is it some Pacific cultures have like the tattoos.
The tattoos and they like or like the piercings where like they would like elongate their mouths or their ears. It's kind of similar sort of stuff.
That's pretty cool. And I hadn't thought about that too, but like I just
scarification, another one.
I mean Pico I guess it's very culturally relevant. I mean I have a Pico on the back of my car.
We don't talk about the cult of the Pico because if we talk about the cult of the Pico, the Pico cultists will destroy us. So they're
Pico.
Pico's dangerous. All right, let's talk about a little bit different. Let's talk about I think Red Jay was the last one I think we talked about. They showed off animals, and what are your first thoughts on the grazer?
So the right now, I think it's going to be closer to the Copion than it is to the Maruk. So the Copion's, as one person helpfully mentioned on one of my videos, they wrote "What the dog doing," which was the funniest thing I read in a while. So, because I have done videos exploring and showing the Copions in action and the Maruks, the flying ones, pterodactyl-looking things for those who haven't seen them. Just to give you a picture in your mind of what the dog doing and what the Jurassic Park doing, I guess you could say. But
it's so simple, but it's so good.
What the dog doing?
What's the dog doing?
So when you roll up on Copions, like it's an experience. Like that. First of all, because of the way the AI works, they're not like traditional. They're not like the Maruk Boyd things. They have their own AI. They each think a little bit, and they lock onto you. Like you're radar locked essentially by the animal because of the way it's set up right now. So when the first time you see the space cows is going to, for just to give you a picture of what you're seeing if you haven't seen the video of what CIG released previewing, you're going to roll up, you're going to get radar locked, and these creatures are going to respond to you in one way or another. I suspect if you're more aggressive, they're going to run away. I suspect if you're not, they're going to be pretty chill because that's how the Copions are mostly. Even though they're supposed to be hyper aggressive, I've gotten super close. I've even had one into my ship one time by accident, and the whole experience around the animals is truly amazing. I love New Babbage because you can just roll out anywhere and just drop in, and there's little icons showing where they are. So I'm looking forward to the grazers. I do like that. I'm I'm gonna take it a step further and suggest that maybe we'll be able to keep them at our outpost in the future. So that excites me a lot more than the Copions and the Maruks in that way. That's me speculating wildly. Okay, just getting it out there though.
Okay, how about you, Buster? Initial thoughts on the grazers.
Boy, let me tell you what. I'll tell you what right here, right now. I just want to get me a horse, and I need some rope, and I just want to make sure that them grazers is doing all right all the time. You got to run them across some people's land once in a while, because they grazers, they graze. We got rights. We got grazing rights.
Grazing rights.
Grazing rights. Just, all right. You know, we going Ghost Riders in the sky, boys, like gals and non-binary pals. All right. But we're I've been playing RDR too. You know, I just then, and you know, I wondered because what they had woolly ones, which was cool. I love that. I thought that, and I was like, oh, so I could have a fur. Was so bad. Oh, I could have a fur later. But they're so pretty. I love the skulls. I love the exo. What is that kind of thing where they have a plate? It's like a plate. It's like an arm plate on an animal. It's the coolest. They are so cool. I bet they're super if you piss them off, they'd be 10 times meaner than Bodacious, the OG mean ass bucking bull. Look it up. Google it. It's worth a Google.
That is the most panhandle response that I've ever heard.
But man, I want one named Bodacious. I really do. I would become this is the new thing that I want to do in Star Citizen. If the grazers can buck, right? If they can buck, I want to raise bucking grazers and take them to the rodeo and make my money. Okay, if you don't know this about rodeo, real quick, bulls also compete and they gain bounty the longer they go without a full 8-second ride from a rider. Mm-hmm. So the longer, basically it's a record, a wrestling record, whatever. And the more that your bull is the greatest wrestler of all time, Dan Gable, the longer they go without like somebody winning against them or getting a ride, they end up like there's cowboys that have won millions of dollars from getting a ride on a bull that's had a bounty on it for a long time. So I was saying, like, I just want to raise bucking grazers. And I just want to do rodeos. I just want to do rodeos. And I'll make them the happiest grazers, you know? But sometimes they gotta knock a cowboy off their back. That's the only price they have to pay for like the best snacks that you could give a Kazi grazer, which I don't know what that would be, but I'm willing to learn.
I'm gonna tie this back into the customization as well, because one of the things that makes me really happy about the bucking grazers is this is, I don't know, maybe I am reading tea leaves a little too hard. Maybe I have ingested too many copian horns, but like this seems like them adding this is because they want to add crafting in the near future. And so like taking a copian, killing it, skinning it, using all its innards and outards and making clothing and other things like that. But
yeah, and I thought about that too. Absolutely. I thought about like there's there could be materials like that, whether it's like obviously food products,
the hide for like
hide
or for other stuff like backpacks or anything.
Again,
like
fur for winter clothes or winter like lining. Like maybe they have like super badass wool or whatever it is. That's wool or hair or whatever. But it's so cool. Oh my gosh, they're so cool. And then like the other stuff's cool too. But the Kazi grazers are just the funniest and the best. And having to talk for like making a dev talk for like 15 minutes about space cows is like, look, I know a lot of people say a lot of things about Jared Huckabee, and I've said a lot of nice things, thank you very much, about Jared Huckabee. But like him and his people, they made a great episode of silliness that I love very much, and I appreciate.
I'd like to add one small thing. These type of animals, and to Paul's point about crafting, this is critical for when we finally get player outpost. Even if it's just a shack on the side of a planet, having the ability to suddenly make your own food and make some kind of product to help pay for the fuel you're going to need to get back in and out of Atmo all the time is like it's like the support structure you need to make it worth being there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like you basically add like you expand the game's economy to like greater to more stuff to do in Star Citizen. Sorry.
I was gonna say as well. The other thing was that they mentioned a jungle Kazi grazer. It's like, why are you making a jungle version of Kazi grazer, CIG? We don't have jungles in the game yet. May you be planning something? Put my conspiracy hat on.
I love critters.
I love critters.
I'm excited. I'm excited about all the critters.
I am too. I'm looking forward to all of the stuff they're coming on, because this is obviously not going to be the only thing they're adding in 4.0. And I'm just glad that they're like, oh yeah, 3.23 we released 2 creatures. 4.0 we're releasing at least 1, if not 2 creatures. I could see every 2 patches them dropping more and more creatures over and over again. It looks good. So, all right, let's get into some of the more controversial takes.
Ooh, let's go.
I'm starting with you there, Buster, because this is a question that's brought up a lot that I've seen. I don't think it's a majority opinion, but there's definitely this question of why is CIG focusing on, customization for your character and space cows? Like, why does this matter?
Because it's just cool. Does there need to be a better answer than that? It's fucking cool.
I mean, no, that's a good appropriate response.
Simple answer. More, thought about answer. One, like, obviously, like, people want to like be able to see themselves in something once in a while, or something they specifically want to be, whether that's like, somebody who maybe like wishes they had like bigger and more blue hair. They can have bigger, more blue hair in a video game, and it doesn't affect like their life in a way where they have to go see a hairdresser. And you know, like in other expressions, right? Like a million other ways to express yourself, but it's important. And it's just like I would say to anybody who like it's like kind of says the same stuff like they're like I don't care about character customization, but I really care about ship customization. It's like the same thing. It's just a different kind of skin, baby. That's all it is. If you feel like when you're in a ship, you want that to be the representative of you more than who like the way you look as a character in the game. That's 100% valid, and that is a good criticism, right? Like it would be nice to have more personal customization in the ship customizer or in ships in general, not custom. There's a ship customizer, but you know what I'm saying. Like it would be nice. I agree, but the fact of the matter, like I said before, the whole paint thing, like it makes money. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not going to argue against it or for it. It is what it is. What good about what I feel or think about it does anything to change it? I just want more. That's really it. At cheaper prices. I don't want to spend $30 on skins when I should be spending like $15. Not that I devalue the work at all, but like if there's a lot of them, I want a lot of them. But anyway, I don't know, you know. But the point being is this stuff's important because it makes people feel more at home at the end of the day. That's what it's about. Do you feel at home? Are you having fun? Is this fun for you? Is this a fun aspect of the game for you? Cool. Is this not a fun aspect of the game for you? That's fine. But don't justify your like don't use your dislike of something to justify the validity or the desire that others have, like, or how they feel about it or whatever, right? Like don't go, oh, it's pointless, when there's a lot of people who feel like it's not. It benefits their gameplay and their life, maybe even in some way. Boom. And it, like that's that there. Again, short answer, it's cool. Longer answer, summarize. Just let people live.
Be happy. Let people be happy.
It's important. It also attracts other demographics of the game that clearly don't exist because I can tell, well, not don't exist, but are low. I mean, I can tell you as a player, as a lady player, okay, that I've made more, like, again, we were talking about the face maker. I've made more male faces. I've had more requests for male faces than I've had for feminine faces, right? So that alone is like, I probably have like 10% women and 90% men in my files. And that's the way that's the indicative of the proportion of the community. Now, does it mean, oh no, they're gonna bring all girls over here and they're gonna run Star Citizen with the pretty hair? Okay, like chill out. It's fine. You're fine. We all like to fight each other. It's fine. And do whatever and have a good time. But at the end of the day, like the more people that play the game, the more potential the game has for success. Because I don't know if you heard of Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not saying they're at all the same game, but there was a lot of cool options to look cool and have some cool moments in that game. Like, and who really liked that game? Who do you think about like when you imagine a Baldur's Gate player? What do they look like?
Terminally online D&D players.
Do they look like a woman most of the time?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of...
A lot of them look like women to a lot of people because they like it is a very popular game with women.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, girls can like stuff, and I'm not trying to make a big argument about this, but it goes just from that perspective. And there's a dozen other perspectives like that where they say, well, the more people that feel comfortable in the game, the more they want to play the game. Whatever. Yeah. It's not the end. It's not the only reason to play Star Citizen. It's never that argument. It's just it's a detail that matters for a multitude of reasons. I'll shut up.
You're right. No, you're 100% right. I think it's important to kind of illustrate that like there is a barrier to entry for some people where like you never know what's going to make someone go, I like this game, or oh, I get it now. When I was playing Star Wars Outlaws, I was trying to like the game. I was like, it's not really my game. I guess it's good. It's got weird things here and there. And then after a while, I kind of enjoyed myself more and more. But I didn't really know that I enjoyed the game until I sat down and played a fully realized version of the game Sabak from the universe. I was like, oh, I'm having fun. This is fun. I'm enjoying myself. And that may sound weird, but you never know how people play video games. There's an entire gameplay series of videos. I can't remember who did it, but it's called Monster Factory, where they just boot up a game and then all they do is make characters in the game, and like that's content, and people will watch that because it's just people hanging out and making characters. But yeah, like it's always important to kind of highlight those facts when I hear those. But I'll ask Red J the same question. Why is the character creator important? Why should we care about it?
I'm gonna keep my answer short.
Okay.
Because you Buster hit on a lot of gold, but this was like just when you first start an oil derrick and all the oil spreads everywhere. It's just flying everywhere. She hit a lot of good points, so I'm gonna keep it short. I fully support everything she said, and I agree. And Paul, I agree that everybody plays the games differently. How they kind of feel matters, and that's how they feel about it. And I think that's the important part is that you feel some kind of connection with the character you make, and a little bit of you don't have to risk your career or how you feel in real life, and you can express yourself in many different ways. I think one of the things that is going to be exciting to me is over time, as things become more mature with the character creator, and uh, uh, the bigger thing that excites me is like when we finally get at least one alien species. I'm not gonna dive into that rabbit hole,
Yeah.
but if people are concerned about the creativity and customization of the character creator now, I can't wait to see their reactions when we have another species. I'll just leave it there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I didn't even think it. Oh yeah. Like, are you like? Do you have cool like purple highlights on your bark as a Banu, or are you like more blue? You know.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna say the also the quiet part out loud when it comes to this sort of thing. Just because it's not your feature doesn't mean it's not somebody else's feature.
Right.
Just straight up.
Yeah.
The people who are making your character customizers, you don't want them making server meshing. You don't want them making your Idris or your whatever. Just it's such a tired argument I've heard so many times, and it's not. This isn't this is a shit tester. This is you giving an explanation. No, y'all. This is the reality of the situation. They're not going to hire 5,000 people to fix the game. Just to do whatever the fuck fix the game is. Whenever I hear fix your game, it's like, what do you want? What do you want fixed? Like, well, I game broke. Like, okay, be more specific, please. And
yeah, because Star Citizen has the potential to be the kind of game that like sometimes it really can be operator error. I have blamed the game when I realized, oh wait, it was me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And the reality is that it's an MMO. All right. It needs to have a robust customer characterizations. I would argue that I think CIG needs to figure out how to make it so that you can have full feature character creator from not just the face, but your body proportions, everything. Full feature. They need that in the future, and they need to expend resources for that. Do they need to do the same thing with like ships? Yes. With armor? Yes. With clothing? Yes. All of those things need that because not only are they revenue streams in some cases, but they're going to give you free publicity because someone's going to say, I made Samuel L. Jackson, or I made Markiplier, or I made insert person here. And that's going to, and they make that picture, it turns into a tweet or a post somewhere on some social network. And that gets the attention of the publicist of that person who then tweets it out. And now suddenly a bunch of people who didn't know what the heck Star Citizen is now know what Star Citizen is and are like, what is this game that I've been hearing about Star Citizen? Because that's the sort of thing that happens when you do stuff like this. That's why you do it, is because it gives player agency, but it also will improve the game overall and even get more visibility. So
Wait until CIG finds the gold mine that is custom premium underwear and swimsuits.
Oh no!
I-
Don't make me pay money for underwear. I pay enough money in real life.
You know what? I think we talked about this
Oh.
last time. We talked about it last
Don't
time.
encourage them.
What they need to do is let us swap out our underwear.
Yes. I want different colors for different pairs.
Yes. You need you need different styles too, because people want to, like, you may never see it, but someone's going to be very particular about what style and where they do it, because that's important, you know. But you know, there's also lots of other things, like, for instance, they should probably encourage you to wear your clothing more than your armor everywhere, and that's a different discussion. All right, we've been talking for an hour, which is like that's
Yeah.
That didn't feel like we've been talking an hour. But I'll leave this off with the last question, which is, where do you want to see CIG go from here? From what we've seen that they're planning on doing with 4.0, what would you like to see in terms of customization, armor, clothing, ships, anything else like that? Red J, I'll start with you.
Okay, well, we just got the ATLS, and I'm not going to go down yet another rabbit hole, but I'm very excited about customization that is like beyond what we already have. I would love to see more. I'm going to keep it to the topic, so I'm bad at this, but flight suits and things like that. I'd love to see a new kind of suit or a specialized suit that works with those type of devices. So as we see more of these specialized niched vehicles, people can instantly look at you and see that you're a specialist in that unit, and that maybe that gives you a small advantage, something like extra damage modifier protection, extra heat resistance when you're wearing a suit. Just like every other vehicle, I'd love to see riding gear as well for hover bikes, but that's a topic for another day.
Buster, what would you like to see in the future going forward?
With the character customizer, more. I've said before, like, I feel like I hit a lot of walls when it comes to the male side of things, because I've done so much of it that I've really felt it. I feel like the more feminine side is better, but yeah, just more faces, more skin textures. Please, for the love of God, put a true red in there. Put some primary colors in some of the makeup. Like, I feel like there's some decent primary choices for every color except red. Red is only pinks and browns and rouge. It's rouge. It ain't roja. Okay.
Thank you. Not real roja. That's right.
Yeah, we ain't getting the roja in there. And we need the roja. So, yeah, like, that's a small detail, but that's my biggest gripe with the makeup. Overall, like, I'm excited for new hair. I just really want a bit bigger diversity of facial features. Huge, huge, huge like, I really hope there's a lot more facial features added and just faces to the mixing board, so to speak. And then on both ends, but especially on the the masculine side of things, because it's just yeah. But overall, it's awesome. I can't wait. I'm sure they implied, which I feel like I heard them say something along the lines of, like, we can't show you everything.
Yeah.
So there are going to be things that maybe we have said here in this chat, right here, that are actually on the way and we just don't know it. So that's what I hope. I really hope that there is more stuff coming along, that way more than that, because just more stuff, more face stuff, and also more animals and Kazi Grazer.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hang out with the Kazi Grazers and listen to them make cool sounds and just be cool, and just peaceful.
When Lando said, "Do they mourn their dead?" My only thought was the Klingon mourning ritual. where they
yeah.
they gather around the dead and then scream into the sky all at once.
It's a really valid question because elephants mourn their dead.
Yeah.
And I think you could liken a Kazi grazer to something between maybe like a cow, an elephant, and a rhinoceros.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I can see it.
Something like that. But yeah, I'm excited.
I will say that what I would really like them to see, because I've obviously born a character creator, and I want them to, I don't know, I need more skins for the ATLS, because I need them to do a Optimus Prime skin, blue with red flames. It's not only an Optimus Prime, but I think that was also Megas XLR. Was that one as well? So,
I've never been a big mech person, but that preview really cracked. Like, that made me laugh so hard. What she said?
Yes.
I was like,
where you want it? Yeah.
Okay.
It's an Aliens reference, but yeah, I get why you can be a little
thought
weird.
so. I immediately was like, is that an Aliens reference? But it was just
so
funny. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
All right. But the other thing I think that CIG needs to really take another look at is armor customization and ship customization. Specifically, ship. You said the ship customizer. I think they need that. I think they need a ship customizer feature.
Agreed.
For us to, because the skins are nice, but having control over the locations of the paint and doing it in game rather than just being a store feature. It's okay to sell these things because that's how you make money, and that money then goes to fund your development and keep your lights on and making sure your developers can eat and that sort of thing. But it's a video game. It needs to be able to be played and unlocked and that kind of stuff. So,
for the paint, I just want to mention, like, of all games, BDO, Black Desert Online, nailed it. Where you could do like multiple colors of paint. They had a premium paint that was like shiny and special colors that was like premium. Mm-hmm. And then there was other paints that you could earn in game or find them in game.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be super cool. Find ones in game.
And then there was special just like
shops.
Yeah, and you can mix and match paints. You could choose like, okay, I want this on my armor, on my outer part of my armor, and interior, the chest, the lining of the stuff under the armor, like the havoc or whatever it's called. Like it was well done.
Yeah, I have a feeling like something like that would be in Squadron, right?
Yeah, I can see something like that.
Because I feel like you're probably gonna have like the garage gameplay of Squad, or the hangar gameplay where you really are like sitting in the hangar and you're kind of figuring out, okay, what's this new mod I'm putting on? Where I mean, we have that in the game, but it's gonna be more like organized, I think, in Squadron. It's gonna be more like you're at the station, so this is what they have available. You don't have to go to like 5 shops. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't think they'll necessarily do the paint customization in Squadron, because you are like military man on military mission, or military person on military mission.
Maybe you get like little things that you can put like from battles you were in, like basically like decals
tokens
or patches.
Or like that.
Yeah. Like things like emblems you can put on your stuff.
I think the reason why we don't have it yet is because it's not a priority because of Squadron. But I feel like now that Squadron is clearly reaching a finishing point with all the things they've been telegraphing about Squadron and the site update that they recently did, then I believe they're in a situation where while that's being wrapped down, that should be the next priority of like, because again, your character is important, your clothing should be important, your armor and your ships should also be important as well. I think this is the time to begin to dial that in so that you can have people who are like, hey, I have my reflective shiny paint that I got, but it's premium, but I can also just go do and get red. You can go earn red from Hurston Dynamics because they have red paint that I can use.
There's a million ways to implement how you get them.
Yeah.
It's just, will they be there?
Yeah, or just buy them
store.
because paints are expensive.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to wrap up our discussion for today. We'll be moving on to our question and answer session. I did release the question and answer session yesterday last one as a separate video, and it did fairly well. So people were definitely checking into the question and answer session. So if you do enjoy this and you want to see that, I will release it a couple of days after this goes live. So this is going to go live on Sunday, my Sunday, and then the question and answer session will go live on either Tuesday or Wednesday. Probably Wednesday would be my guess. And that will be at youtube.com/TheAstroPubLive. And I will not, this full VOD will be linked in the description, but above Buster's head, you will see the link for the question and answer session once that goes live. So if you don't see a link up there, it means that it's not live. But if you do, that's where it is. And also try to update I'll update the description as well with the question and answer session dedicated, if you like that as well. But thank you for hanging out. Make sure you check out Buster the Destroyer and Red J on their social medias. It's like Buster Destroyer on YouTube.
Yeah, Buster Destroyer. If it's not Buster the Destroyer, it's Buster Destroyer.
And it's Red J everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with that all being said, thank you for watching. Make sure you check us out live at twitch.tv/TheAstroPub, youtube.com/TheAstroPub live. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video if you enjoyed this, and of course your comments down below. Keep it civil, I should say. And yeah, thank you for watching. And like I say every time, hope to see you someday in the black. All right. We're going to go on a 5-minute break, and we'll come right back with the question and answer session chat. So don't go anywhere. We're going to do a tight 5. So it's 4:10. So we'll be back at like 4:15 or 5:15 Eastern, 4:15. Yeah,
okay.
About 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be right back, chat.
Walk.
And we're back with a question and answer session from Buster with Buster and Red J for our episode on Star Citizen's customization and stuff like that. It's kind of a follow-up for the one we did earlier this year. So if you haven't seen that, the link will be right above Buster's head where you can click that and watch that first. These are new experiments, I will say, because I typically have just been kind of leaving them up as a VOD and letting people watch the VOD afterwards. But people have been asking me for separate videos just so they could just easily find them and have them pop up in their feed and such. So I tried it last time and it got a lot of attention. A lot of people were like, wait, what's going on? What's this? So I'm going to continue to do this until it doesn't work anymore, or it does. I don't know. So make sure you check us out live at twitch.tv/TheAstroPub, youtube.com/TheAstroPubLive on Saturdays, starting around 5 p.m. Eastern, which is about 1 p.m. Pacific. So we talk about Star Citizen. I bring people from all over the Star Citizen community to talk about the game in various different aspects. This is a question and answer session where we're answering questions directly from the chat. I have a big list up here, 6 questions so far, and feel free to continue to ask them as well as we go forward. First question is from Gin and Tonic, who asks, speaking of being able to load characters from a file now, which is the greatest thing since Betty White? Or sorry, let me do it properly. Speaking of being able to load characters from a file now, which is the greatest thing since Betty White, has anyone seen an organization of clones? People who use the exact same skin.
I'm sure there's some people who have been doing it, but I have not personally. I've seen people using like the default face, especially the feminine default.
The feminine default. How about you, Jay?
I've seen organizations that'll match clothing, like Vanguard, for example, is a big famous one. They're a great group of folks. They do their own thing. I'm not going to plug them, but I am going to say that they do all wear the same outfits on like the different parts, and it has a function to it. So whatever part of the organization they're from, the clothes are what matches. I know for a fact they don't like insist on everybody's got to use the same character.
Same character. We are all Gary. We all must hail Gary.
Gary.
Yeah, Gary. You don't get the joke yet, Buster, because you should be playing Fallout 3. Is it Fallout 3 or is it New Vegas? I think it's Fallout 3. Yes.
Yeah, I just don't do well with post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic. Okay.
It makes me sad.
It's more of a dark comedy, but you know.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll just watch it on YouTube. I'll just watch the major gameplay points on YouTube or something and get the experience.
Next question comes from Fastcart, who asks, how does the panel think a crazy gazer? He writes out crazy grazer steak would taste, or would the panel fear the possibility of getting mad grazer disease? This is where I'm gonna hit the lore. You do realize that if you've been to a Whammers, you've had a grazer burger, right?
Yeah, they're like the primary source of beef, essentially.
Yeah, so
because they yield more than like a cattle would, and they're probably like a better thing to like. What's the word? It's more efficient, I imagine, to raise Kazi grazers than cattle.
Yeah, because they can also give you eggs, which apparently people are freaked out about, which I think is great.
People get weird about eggs, man.
Especially when they're clutches of eggs coming out of like a fleshy sack.
Yeah. I get mine from farms.
It comes out of a chicken's cloaca.
I have to clean them.
Yeah. Yeah, they still have like gunk on them because.
Yeah.
Red J, what do you think? Would you enjoy grazer meat?
Whammers is one of my favorite places to hit up. I really like the feel and the aesthetic of the place, and it's fun. It's like I love that kind of stuff. Anyway, yes. So I'd be more concerned about vegetarian options at a place like Whammers, where that came from.
Probably some genetic engineered creature that is not technically alive. That is technically a plant.
Oh God.
There's some messed up parts about Star Citizen.
It's
If
like
you
a
think
whole
about them
like
too hard.
civilization of very advanced plant people that cannot communicate to anybody else.
Yes.
Been eating them for
But
years.
just sentient
No.
mushrooms that don't try to kill you.
There you go.
Pacifist orcs. All right. Next question comes from Gin and Tonic, who asks, following up on Fastcar's question, how about Kazi omelets?
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Like, good job, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder how, okay, first I need to know like how, like what is it the most like compared to Earth? Like, is it more like I doubt it's like a chicken egg, it's too big.
Yeah.
But if it would like had kind of the same style of a chicken egg with flavor, or does it have more of like a flavor and the texture of like a duck egg, or even an emu egg or whatever, an ostrich egg? You know, like what kind of egg is it like? Because that's gonna inform the flavors, right? Like what are we gonna put on this omelet? That's important questions.
These are important questions.
But yes, 100% yes, would do. I mean, you probably need like one egg to make a whole French omelet. You'd be good. Whereas
Yeah.
you need like 3 or 4 chicken eggs,
Yeah.
depending on the appetite of the person having it.
I don't know if I could finish a single Kazi egg. That seems like that would be a lot of food.
Oh, I could. I eats. But yeah, no, I could. I mean, it's protein.
Jock Cop asked the question, one important element of customization is ship naming. Is there any feature you would like CIG to add when it comes online? Personally, I'd love custom fonts to give a personal touch. So what would you like to add to like ship naming there, Red J?
Ooh, that's a tough one. So
That's a good question.
the font, the size of the name would be nice, although within reason, so it doesn't look ridiculous. I think of War Thunder, for example, where people used to put the icons and they made it in like a camouflage skin, just a simple decal or a name, word put on there. None of that. But I do see the value. The one thing I want to mention is just a cautionary note is that there is usually a light pointed at the words. So if you make it too big or the font changes the scaling too much, you might have part of it not illuminated by the light.
Mm.
Just a thought in the back of my head. But sorry, to answer the question directly, I would like it so when you lock up the ship, it prominently shows the name of the ship.
Like the name, the back name on the of like ship boats, where like they have like this big prominent on the back end of every like even like tiny little fishing boats have these big plates. I don't know what they're called. They're placards or okay. There's a name for it. There's a nautical name for it, which I'm sure sailors will tell me what it is, but there's a term for it.
Get in the chat, Seaman. Sorry.
Transom. Is that what they're called? Transom?
The guys at sea.
Sounds right.
Sailors.
Buster, what would you like to see in addition to, like, as part of custom ship names?
You know, the fonts I would agree with only if it's like within reason, because the thing is like some of those brands have their own kind of font set, and so to change the font set against like the brand's marking might look really weird. So that's my only like critique of that. But it would be cool if you could change the whole thing for the whole. But again, it's kind of like with the brand a little bit, if that makes sense. Font typography is like a big deal. But or have a good maybe preset one. Like you'd have to pick a few. I would hate to see Comic Sans in the verse. But
yeah.
But like at the same time, with that set aside, because I think that's interesting. I would think lighting, like better lighting on the name, so they're more like you know, one of the greatest things about the USS Enterprise, right? Like one of the most iconic science fiction ships of all time, is how you can see the name of it very well, and in a great font, by the way, from almost any angle you're seeing it from. Almost. Not always. Like if you're having that kind of 3/4 front on angle, it's not as much. But you know the saucer. Like it's so noted. So like, but it's also well lit. Like if you you watch the way they like render the Enterprise, it often has very good lights on the hull. So maybe better lighting on the hulls for the names that highlight the names better, and or some like form of like name that has like an electric element. So maybe it glows a little bit, like it's almost its own source of light. You know, that would be cool. And I could see like, but I think between the two, you should be able to decide, right? I think that's like a style choice that would be interesting to see players like, oh, are you the kind of guy who wants the light shining on the name, or are you the kind of gal who wants the name lit up? Right? Like, what do you want? So that would be cool. Or the ability to change the colors of any lettering on the ship, like along with like a paint. Like that kind of goes back to paint. Like if I have like a white Carrack, maybe I want the lettering to be like, like I have some red details. I want it to be red, or I want it to be like an in between color, like a gray or something, to set itself apart from the rest of the colors. That kind of stuff. So yeah, and that's just design aesthetic, but that's how I feel about it.
I think what I'd like to see is for you to be able to move it around with lighting. So like wherever you put your name, there's going to be a light source there that will like illuminate your name, the name of the ship. So like give you a space, like a region of your ship where you can put the name, but and then I do like the idea of having different styles of lighting. So either like different colors or different like the thing itself lights up, and it reminds me of the digital clothing that they have, where like they have the things that are like scrolling across.
Yeah, why wouldn't that be something you could do? I mean, what is it? Some of the ships that we've seen like in artwork, like they have like these, or in videos, like it's like what is it, the pirate ship, the Cutlass, Cutlass with the Cutlass like with like those lights on them in a video, like strung up around on them, like why isn't that feasible on a ship's name or something similar?
Yeah, or like just like a digital display rather than being a name that's being like just paint. It's a digital display that plays the kind of like LED glows everywhere you go. Like there's different styles. I think they could go crazy with that. So
like it'd be nice to have a little ship shop in the game or in the website or the game where you can kind of figure that kind of stuff out.
Lowe's Customs is already in Orison. I mean, Cousin Crow from Lowe. That would be a perfect place to start that type of process.
Adding on to that, this is a different question. I think this one comes to you because I know you're a big fan of the Heartseeker there, Buster.
Yes.
Question comes from the Glass Sword, who asks, I noticed the nose art on the Super Hornet Mark I Heartseeker was removed. I speculate it's a separate element. Do you think that we'll see a custom coming soon?
The Heartseeker's nose art is gone?
Yeah, apparently.
It's glitched, yeah.
Oh, it's a glitch. Okay, that's okay.
I think it's because they had to keep put it up to the same
old.
standard. Yeah.
It's old. It's like it's the only like nose art in the game. Yeah, I love that. I love that ship. I want that back. Obviously, I want that to be fixed. I wouldn't mind if they redid the art a little bit. I actually have always said that I would love for the Heartseeker, for everybody who owns a Heartseeker, to have the option of 2 paints, and that just bespoke with it, whether it's like a feminine or a masculine style. Like it's like it's either a guy or a gal, right? Like sitting there and doing the little nose art pose. Because I would love to have a dude on my cockpit.
I would love to see them do the Warhammer style, or War Thunder style, where they have different decals you can put on the ship wherever you want to put them.
I think it should be Jared. I think they should make it Jared, like subtly.
Jared would do it. Jared would do it. Jared would do it in 5 seconds.
I would come in and I would totally like pick the pose and everything. I'd be like, I am the expert. I am like the definitive expert on how Jared must look good on a pinup art. So just run past Buster. No, I would love for the Heartseeker to actually have alternate paints for the even like alternate, like you could have different you could have like an array of like 6 or 7 different people to choose, but it would be nice to have some alternates for that, especially as things are moving forward and maybe it's having that glitch. Maybe that art needs to be retooled for it. So why not add some extra paints to it? Yeah. But it's only for the Heartseeker, because that's the unique thing about the Heartseeker is that I would love that.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to have pinup art or decals because, like, I'm a big fan of the A10 nose art where it's the shark mouth with the eyes right underneath the gun. And I think there's something similar to that with the Flying Tigers. Had some pretty famous like paint schemes with them. So like,
but the Heartseeker should always stay in the theme of a pinup.
Of a pinup, yeah. For sure.
That's what makes it so fun and
that's
unique.
I
I think
adding
adding
Heartseeker. Yeah.
I think adding like teeth or anything to it would, like, I don't know, it would ruin the ship for me.
Yeah. Or
Because
maybe
it's about hearts. It's about seeking hearts. It's about being sweet.
maybe you could easily do is say if you bought a Heartseeker, you get those decals for free as part of that part of that deal of having that, or only you can get those decals from that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that would be cool.
What do you think, Red J? What do you think about like pinup art in general, or just like ship art?
I think ship art's really beautiful, and it has a function. You know, there's in both civilian and combat type aircraft, there was a famous what they call the war paint, so to speak. I think that's one of the terms they throw around. But basically, it's a friend or foe identifier at range. So they'll put a specific stripe on every single tail of every single craft. Why would they not do that in space? That makes perfect sense to me. Yes, are you going to use your radar 99% of the time? But once in a while, when you get in a gun range and you're just laying into something, it might be a good idea to have one extra way to tell it's a friendly, not an enemy or something.
Or if you're piling into a big dogfight and there's some sort of interference and you don't see anything, you still need to have some sort of Mark 1 eyeball indication. So,
yeah, I love the Heartseeker as well. I've done it. I even did a music video, kind of sort of, with Battlestar Galactica music, covering the Heartseeker, going on getting ready for its mission. I love the Heartseeker. I think it should stay firmly where it is and fix it. And I agree with Buster on that. I do agree with you, Paul, on the decals in general. More ships should be able to enjoy having art, and it has, like I said, it has that underlying function of people know it's you. So that's something awesome. Both sides of that coin.
Yeah, because I'd love to have like a ship with nose art and a name on it, like a fighter with a name on it. That would be so cool. Like the Heartseeker, but it's like, who's my Heartseeker?
Oh yeah, we'll put the name inside the heart or whatever.
Yeah.
Org logos too.
Yeah.
I mean, expanding this slightly, org logos, like, so if you have ships that are going to be, so to speak, quote, owned, end quote, by the org, and they kind of hand them out as like, prospectors to go use to go mine, and then you got to bring it back. Yeah. Being able to just look across the fleet and be like, hey, that's one of ours. Oh, we got to bring that back to the corp hangar, or the org hangar, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. Next question. From Trouble Magnet, who asks, we have a limited web ship customizer for the 300 series. Do you think they'll ever expand that to other ships or scrap it to make something new? If something new, what do you think?
Scrap it, make something that works in game.
Okay, works both in the website and game.
Yeah, because I mean, personally, like especially when we're talking about like maybe placing like logos or any specific art, like I would want to be able to like see in game how it looks before I decide that that's it. Because what if I like slightly misplace, like I place it one way on the website, but then I get in game and I'm like, it's not quite where I wanted it. Like I needed it over 2 more inches, that kind of thing. Because some people can be very specific, and I might be one of them occasionally. Or having like obviously like sizes already like preset where it's like, okay, well you can only have it this size, and here's like the 6 positions it can be in. And whether it's it's only on one side or it's like on the other side of the ship too, like it's symmetrical, So,
how about you, Reggie? Do you think we should keep that the system that they prototyped with the 300, or should they change it?
I would keep it, but bring it into game as well. And I own a 325A and a 350R that are both customized very heavily. I love them. I used to have a 315P as well, but I ended up CCUing it, and that they do have that integrated into that, so it's like the cost.
I know. I love. Do you have the pressure cooker?
Yeah, I do. On the 325A, the 350R can't fit that stuff, but the 325A does have the food processor and the coffee maker and stuff. I love that kind of stuff. And honestly, if they had a 425A, a 415P, whatever, I would buy those as well, and I would customize the heck out of them. I think in game though, when that'll come in, as I strongly suspect when Terra finally comes in, at some point in the future, there'll be a big old Origin showroom, and that's where you would probably see most of that.
New Terra is going to be the best.
New Austin, baby.
Or New Austin, yeah. Terra is going to be the best.
Yeah. For those who don't know, the headquarters of Origin is on Terra, and specifically in New Austin, where to the point where New Austin is called Origin Town because it's like they're the major manufacturer there. And for those of you who are Anvil fans, it's Nova Kiev, which is where the headquarters of Anvil. I have a sneaking suspicion that CIG is prioritizing planets after Nyx, prioritizing systems that have manufacturers in them. Because like Magnus is where Drake is headquartered. I think Ellis has got a couple of manufacturers there. Castra has a couple of manufacturers, including Kruger. And then Terra has a bunch of them as well, including Anvil and Origin. And then Bremen is where Consolidated Outland is, and Bremen is within jump range too. So it's like all of these planets, these systems are like, I wouldn't be surprised if CIG is like, let's make those systems because we can put our ship manufacturers there and get more advertising that way. Where people will want to go show up to these places because it's like, oh, I want to go to Drake's HQ. So, hey, Paul, can you tell me what system Crusader is in? I really love those, and I want to visit the showcase. I could, but if you don't know by now, it's you've got a problem. It's literally Orison, by the way. I don't know for anybody who may have no idea what it is. It's Orison in Crusader. That's why it's called Crusader.
In Stanton,
the system you're in. I was going to get my answer as well. Yeah, I think it's scrap and do it completely from the beginning. It's got to work from the website, but it's to work from the game. The game is more important than the website, and it always felt like similar to the naming, like ship naming that they have. It was always like we have enough time, now we'll do this, and it didn't work, so they're just like, and they moved on to do something else. So
it came back.
Yeah. And they haven't come back yet, is all it is. Trouble Magnet asks, should some ship customization options be reputation gated, like specific decals or colors? 100%.
Yes, 100%. Because that makes it more fun for the player, I think. People get to go, oh, I did this, and like, where'd you get that? Oh, well, I did this like high level mission that you've got to like work at for like a couple weeks before you even get that mission. Makes it more fun.
Oh, I see what Anansi was trying to do. He was trying to say, come, visit Orison, the city in the clouds. I hate that commercial. So hard.
The city in the clouds.
Please, more commercials, CIG.
I'll make a new song.
I am not the person who's like, I love commercials, but if you're going to play commercials, please play more than one, CIG. Reggie, what do you think? Reputation gated?
I could definitely see reputation gates being a major factor in every single part of the game, and this is no exception.
Huh. Yeah, I think it's a simple answer for me too. Especially for like factions, like faction logos, an easy kind of thing. Oh, they already have the faction logo somewhere in a PNG file or vector file somewhere that they use for all of their stuff. Just like slap that baby on a ship, you're done. It's not that simple, but it's still a lot easier for them to like add those for reputation gates.
Right.
All right. Next question comes from Del Ener, who asks, why doesn't CIG release the old paints, like the paints from years ago, to in-game stores? Do we think that they still make money off of those very basic paints, or have they just forgotten to add those in game stores? Some were added in the initial release. I could tell you my theory behind it, but I don't think any of us really knows. My theory is that CIG didn't want to reintroduce the paints until they had a firm idea of how they were going to do in-game customization. And since they haven't really had a chance to do in-game customization, it's just they just haven't bothered to go back to it. I think they just forgot. They just forgore. So, Reggie, what do you think? Why do you think CIG hasn't released the old paints to find in-game?
I think it's that deal. They haven't gotten back to it yet. Just a tiny little bit of trivia. My first pledge was actually the we got your
Your
back
back skin.
skin.
Nice.
Yeah, the plated skin thing, and that made me an OG backer, and that kept me here. I was like, I was broke. That's all I could afford at that moment, and they still like brought me into the fold, and they gave me a lot of the rewards for OG backing, and I was like, you know what, you guys are all right, and that was that was it's sentimental to me, the old paints. That's the only reason I brought that up is because the ancient paints are I do want to see them, and they mean a lot to me.
How about you, Buster?
I always think it like I mean, how many of those ships have they reworked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just not having maybe the time or whatever yet to like remake that, like redo them with reworks and stuff. Who knows? I don't know. I'm no game dev. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not that I don't care. It's just that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Stuff happens, y'all.
Yeah, we don't know. It could be that those paints just don't work with the new system they developed because they did develop a
Yeah.
new system between the.
That's what I'm saying.
old
That's kind of what I'm
things.
trying to hit at. Like something things, you know.
Yeah.
Things
happen.
Things happen.
Ina Gecko asks, CIG has stated that the fire hazard will not initially cause players to catch fire, only damage them. Do you think that players will eventually catch fire, and will that cause burns on skin and burn off hair? Sorry for being a little dark.
Why? Yeah, I was about to say, like, why are you so like specific here?
I
Like,
don't.
just like, are you a fan of the Salem witch trials? Like, what's going on? No, maybe. I mean, I don't know. That would. I mean,
I don't think so.
how much do you like make like lasting alter? Like, how deep do you go into that game? That side of the game. Like, are you gonna make like burn scars from being in fire for more than like 5 minutes, and the severity of the scars only increases the longer you go after the 5 minute? Like what's that's a lot of metrics to consider, and that's a lot. I mean, it's not valid. It's an interesting concept and thought, but I
agree. I think it really depends on how deep CIG wants to go. Because like I imagine that they want to do scars and stuff like that in the future with the character sort of dying and coming back to life so many times. But I don't imagine they want to have like burns be physically represented on your skin if you get burned.
Maybe they would have something, but like it would be like kind of general. It'd be like, oh well,
damaged skin kind of thing, you know, less
scarring
specific.
Scarring tech can get really, really detailed,
you
know, or not. How much do we want?
How much information are they willing to put into it? You know.
Yeah.
How about you, Jay?
So there's a pretty interesting thing going to happen, not just with engineering with the fire, but there's a different kind of thermal energy that's extreme that's going to happen with pyro. So pyro has exploding, collapsing, horrible star that tries to murder you all the time, and people are going to be shocked. There's a new game mechanic that weren't in the tech preview. Basically, this star goes into a severe solar flare, where if you're not in a ship or you're not in like a covered building,
you're messed up.
You fry. So you may find out sooner than later about how much of that effect is. And I am very curious if CIG is just going to outright kill somebody if they're out in that, or is it going to say, okay, well, you're incapacitated and then you have to treat those injuries? So I don't have anything to weigh in on the specific topic, but the actual way it's going to happen is going to be, we're all going to find out very soon.
Yeah, or do you like run across, like, or you try to get in your little vehicle or whatever small thing you got and like get on the other side of a planet or moon or whatever nearby to like kind of hide from it on the dark side. Like, that's cool. That's fun.
Yeah. And I also didn't think about it that like someone's bringing up the fire rats. The fire rats literally have scarification in their rituals. So like, and they do scarification by intentionally exposing themselves to solar radiation. So,
golly,
yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy. And the funny part, this is why, part of the reason why I like Star Citizen's stories is because the story of Star Citizen is because the the dark humor part of me, it goes, all right, so in this universe, in this system where you have a fascist, xenophobic group that runs the system. You've got people who are trying to effectively colonize and gentrify the system against the wishes of the people around them. You have people who are literal slavers, who like traffic in people and do awful things.
Run a game.
Like these are all the factions of Pyro. Out of these factions of the Pyro, probably the most moral and upright group are the people who intentionally expose themselves to solar radiation and believe that that the voice of God tells them things in a mine. Because they don't actually, like, as far as I know, they don't actually go out and try to like stab people to death for it. They just live on their planet and worship their sun god.
If you ever just chat, everybody out there on the internet, I'm just gonna say this for Brett, just for your safety. If you ever think that you're going into caves or dank dark places with fumes and you think that maybe you're seeing things, you probably have carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yes, almost certainly.
So be aware and have carbon monoxide alarms.
Yes.
Okay. Love you. Want you to stay alive. Thanks.
Seriously, you have no idea how often carbon monoxide is a problem.
There's always some safety tip I give everybody on the show.
Yeah,
like, don't die.
Check your check your carbon monoxide alerts.
There's your reminder. Check your fire. Everybody go check your alarms.
Yes.
But do it after the show.
Yes, after the show.
Don't bake anything between now and then. It's fine.
If you're baking this while watching this after the fact, we're sorry.
Well, they could pause.
Yeah, you can pause. All right, next question comes from Fastcart, who asks, what part of the crazy grazer tastes best?
Okay, let's think about this. What's the parts of beef? We got chuck, rib, short loin, sirloin, rump, brisket, shank, short plate, flank, round, and shank again.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 shanks. I'm just trying to go. I think I got everything. Didn't I get everything? But yeah, who knows? I mean, it depends on what kind of beef. I mean, I bet a flank on one of them will be good because that's where the eggs go.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say the flank.
I bet the flank or the short plate on it. Mm-hmm. Short plate probably be, but it'd probably be real fatty too or something. There's probably be a lot of material.
People saying loin, but I don't know. Like
short or sir.
Sirloin probably be the best one. The short loin, I don't think so. Ribeye. In space,
the chuck would be interesting because the head is so like the head of it's got like the skull and everything. Mm-hmm. So I'd be interested to see what the chuck was like for sure.
The tongue is probably gonna be good, but I would say only the tongue on the
lingua.
Fluffy one. Yeah,
lingua
is a collectible.
We call it lingua in Texas.
Yes, that's the name of the plate, right? Lingua.
Well, that's the name of the taco. Like if you're most of the time people are eating cow tongue, it's at a Mexican food place.
Of course.
Because it's the best.
You can have cow tongue soup.
I have had good cow tongue at a Japanese place. I will say that.
Yeah. People were weird. People were weird in my chat when we were watching that ISC, and they're like, cow tongue? I'm like, it's delicacy. People eat cow tongue all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
You think cow tongue's different? Well, let me tell you something about what we call calf fries where I'm from.
Oh, God.
Rocky Mountain oysters, if you will. There's another name for them. I always forget.
Yeah, lingua is tongue in Spanish, yeah. But it's like lingua. Lingua is the talk. You give them tacos, so. They're chitterlings.
Well, I mean, think about language. Lingua. Language. Mother tongue.
What do you think? What do you think, Red? What do you think is the best part of the grazer?
I'd probably say whatever makes up ribeye, but I want to mention something here. So the eggs and the meats and all this stuff. Honestly, we need like a country style outpost diner type place.
Oh, with like chicken fried.
Yes.
Chicken fried Kazi steak. Oh my God.
And there's big old griddle full of quasi grazer just sitting there, and you can just pop up onto a stool, and that's what we need.
Reggie, this is why This
Yeah.
is why you get along with Paul and I.
Well, see, the
Okay.
thing you need, what you need is you also need to have somebody who does the most southern of southern accents, behind there, being like,
Like me.
yeah. It's when you walk through the door, they say,
Welcome in.
come on in, sit
How
a
you
while,
doing?
child. Like,
how you doing today? Would you like like it fried or would you like it on the griddle today?
you know what? Screw it. Talk to have it at. This would be a nice little like callback or a nice little like a nod. Have this country fried country buffet, this country diner in Brio's Breakyard on Damer.
There you go.
Damer.
Because that's have it there, Brio's, as a little nod to Willie Wicked Wookiees series on Scooter and
oh my god, I saw those the last
they're great.
and I was, oh my god, they're so good.
They're so good. And it's just have it call it Meemaw's Country Kitchen. You don't even have to say anything else. You just have Meemaw's Country Kitchen at Bria's Breakyard.
Oh my god, that would be so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then they need to have an in-game Waffle House too.
Yes, they need a Waffle House equivalent. Just because
no armistice.
Yes.
Is Waffle House closed? Is the Waffle House closed on your planet? Something bad's happening. Because for those of you who don't understand that joke, real quick, there's a thing called the Waffle House Index here in the United States, and it is where the United States government measures the severity of disasters like hurricanes and and tornadoes or whatever by how many Waffle Houses are closed and where. Because Waffle House is always open and ready for a fight.
They will make their employees come in a hurricane to
Guns
stay
down,
open.
waffles up. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to put it. Guns down, waffles up.
The internet has made people more aware of the Waffle House, but
pecan waffles are the best thing there. If you're not nasty enough to know about the pecan waffle, you go get you the pecan waffle, a little extra crispy. If you've never been to Waffle House,
I was never exposed to the Waffle House, but there was the university I went to in Tennessee. It's a very small university in the middle of nowhere, and there's a small town just outside of it called Monteagle, and it's very big for a lot of bikers in the region. They did the big bike festival they do every year.
Like it's a diner kind of place, like a Greasy Spoon.
The Monteagle is the name of the town.
Oh,
yeah, and one of the only places you could go to eat food outside of the university was a Waffle House. So I spent, when I was but a young pub in the early 2000s, my first introduction to a Waffle House was showing up inebriated at about 2:00 in the morning to get some Waffle House. And there's a waitress outside smoking a cigarette, talking on the phone with her friend next to her, talking about how she's going to gut her man like a pig for dumping her over the phone at 2 a.m. while she was on shift. And they got off the phone. When we went in and got food and we got out, her friend was trying to prevent her from getting into a car and driving to her now ex-boyfriend's place to beat him up at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go beat a man up at 3:00 in the morning, it's gonna be a Waffle House. Like that's life.
And that is the most tame experience I've had at a Waffle House. So if you don't understand Waffle Houses are wild places, and they're good cheap food.
Good waffles.
Yeah,
it's good waffles. And the eggs. Oh my god, the burger. Everything's good at Waffle. But my favorite thing is the patty melt.
Yeah, patty melt.
I get the patty melt with a little mayonnaise on the side and hash browns scattered, smothered, covered.
Covered.
And then I have but sometimes I don't get the hash browns and I get the waffle instead, or I just get both because I'm hungry girl that day.
Okay, so Robin is in chat, who's from the Netherlands, I believe, or from Holland. I can't remember where.
Right.
Where waffles are king. You need to come to the United States and come to a Waffle House because
it'll be different than what you're used to. Sure,
it is entirely different, but I think you will appreciate how we've appropriated your culture and turned it into.
You'll appreciate breaking bread.
you'll appreciate the how we've appropriated your culture and turned it into the background of a Tekken level for some fighting game level. All right, Google Waffle House Brawl for more highbrow entertainment kits. All right, enough talking about Waffle House, but yes, we do need a Waffle House equivalent in the verse.
Yes, that would be good.
It's like dinner and a show. This all
started with us talking about Kazi Grazer.
Yes.
Like, what's the best part of a Kazi Grazer? And then we got into like chicken fried Kazi Grazer and greasy spoons and Waffle House.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a natural
you cook it.
progression. But at the end of the day, you know, how you eat your Kazi Grazer is fine, but medium rare is probably best.
I will judge you if you say well done. Never eat anything well done.
Let's all learn together.
Right.
Fried. Chicken fried's fine, but it'd
Chicken
be
fried's
probably
fine.
flank. It'd be flank though if it was chicken fried or shank.
Welcome to the Kazi barrel.
Yeah, all right. What's next?
Dow the Gamer asks, you all forgot the most important customization part. Styling your pets. You're right. I did forget. Pets are 100% like, if CIG wants to make money, hand over fist, having pets that you could sell and buy, you could buy or earn. People will do stupid things to get a pet in a video game. I don't know why, but you know.
I want alien pets, but I also want like dogs.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, my offer always stands. Y'all can scan Weedle and let her annoy everybody else in the freaking game, please. With her love, like I annoy her with my love, and she annoys me with her attitude. So,
what about pets for you, Red J? What pets would you like to see?
So I'm gonna put something up in our kind of group chat here.
Sure.
But that was something that was actually a legit thing from the lore post.
Oh yeah,
it's called a Nagi.
The Nagi, yeah.
Sorry, my bad. I can't pronounce the thing, but it's adorable looking. I would love one of those.
It's like a weird lizard cat. Oh.
Yeah. It's a Gian pet, isn't it?
It looks like an anime character.
Yes.
It's a Gian pet. It's I think it's their equivalent of like a squirrel or like
It's a little baby cat.
Yeah.
It's a cat squirrel. My bobber. Oh.
Yeah, it was the same one where we got the Tokiai. Which is where if you get the word San Tokiai from, Tokiai means things that it's like the thing that inspires terror, and so like so like San Tokiai means the ship that inspires terror. So it's kind of like how we would name a ship like the Falcon or the Hawk,
right?
So
bird prey kind of stuff.
Put it up. Okay, I'll pull it up so you can see it. But
everybody look at the little baby cat thing.
I need to just put a new source in.
Again, this is probably old concept art, so they may have vastly changed this by now, depending on how old it is.
Let's do a browser source.
Caffeine Fiend, visit the city in the clouds.
No, I made that image back in June 2023, but then it says modify February 2023. So I think it's back from February 2023.
Let me see if I can't.
Wow. Look at it. It's on a little thingy.
There you go, chat. You will be dominated by the
cuteness.
By the cuteness from now on.
Look how precious it is. Oh my God. Space kitty gremlin. It does look like a gremlin a little bit. It has gremlin ears. Isn't that the movie where the little thingies, like, they can't give them water?
After midnight.
Yeah.
And they even make fun of it in the second one. They're like, well, what if we're flying in a jet over time zones?
Okay. War is calling me out because I said, people do anything for pets in game, and I don't understand why. And then also Paul gives statement while standing on defensive position while he defends his faux mech with his soul on the line. I am not ever going to have the difference is I'm never going to ever have a pet that I'm going to go rip his face off pet, because that's just, I don't like pets like that. I want pets that are cute and cuddly. But you know,
I like both.
But I also can't install a 40 millimeter grenade launcher to a pet.
Oh no! Oh,
See?
grenade launcher.
Yes, launcher.
You know,
And then ride into battle while firing it.
honestly, there are some animals I would not trust with grenade. Like Weedle would destroy the world, just so she could have some more chicken.
Can I add the pets in Star Citizen? It's gonna be important that they can climb ladders.
Yes.
And they can climb over boxes and stuff like that.
Well, see, something like that would actually be kind of perfect, because it probably just it'd probably like fly around like a little sugar glider or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like bloop, 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 and it'd just like be up there before you're even done climbing the ladder. It'd be like looking down at you, just like its little face like over the edge when you're coming up. How cute would that be? Oh my god.
I'd also be okay with pets being something you can transport in like a little pet carrier or something like that, and you can let them out. So you can like put them in a little box and be like, you can carry them around, and
Right.
and that way they don't like die if you get your oxygen evacuated, and then maybe like you can only put them in your like homestead or your like apartment or something like that. So, all right. Next question, speaking of mechs, comes from Fastcart, who asks, what are your guesses on the price of the ATLS Warbond in USD? So the question is, we talked a little bit about it. There's a power loader that was released recently to Star Citizen called the Argo ATLS or Argo Atlas, which basically lets you move boxes with, it's basically a walking powered armor with exposed to the elements with a tractor beam attachment that you can use. It's very good, but it's very small. It's tall, but like you stand at maybe 8 feet, maybe 10 feet tall total.
Yeah.
So you don't get that much.
It's like the Miata of, mechs. It's a little thing, but it's cute. And you have the right hair in it. You look real good.
What do you think, Red J? What do you think? What's your price tag for that? Do you think?
I think 35 USD war bond, 40 USD credit would be where I was yesterday when I saw it, and tested it. But some people have been trying to convince me that it's going to be like 30 war bond, 35 credit. I think it's going to be sitting in there, and then whatever they choose, there'll be like a 4-pack, because we saw that with the Furies, like 4-packs and such. And then it'll come with 4 different paints, probably for like 100 USD tops war bond.
Right.
I think that's where they're going to make them, where they're really going to have the quote savings end quote. It's probably going to be in multi-pack.
They have 6. Apparently, they have 6 skins for it, and because they just went all in on the skins, I think we're probably not going to. I think you're right, and like probably that range. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like a $25 for Warbond, $30 for non, and then a pack that's like $50 that has all of the skins, with each skin being like $5.
Yeah, that would be my range. I would say about anywhere from about 25 to 55, even 60.
Yeah,
depending on.
Because the Pulse is very similar in terms of size and functionality, and the Pulse is like $25. So Warbond. So, here's some hopium, but I truly hope the ATLS will be reputation locked with Kovalex. I don't think it'll be reputation locked, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's like better upgrades you can get for it from Kovalex or Kovalex.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely going to be you purchase it. There's no way they make that many skins, and be like not selling it for money. Got 2 more questions.
Yay.
Gin and Tonic asks, on the nose art thing, let people submit their custom nose art, charge them for the privilege to pay for the human review, and approve that would be required. Don't you think there'd be a viable income stream? Example of my nose art for the Carrack, and I'll pull this up. What do you think?
just honestly think that CIG will always want to be in control of the aesthetic in their game.
All right, I would post that for everyone to see, but I would get demonetized instantly by posting that. It is very. I'll post it for everybody else so you can see the.
It's spicy. Is
it
it
is
spicy?
very
Is it
spicy.
spicy enough for YouTube and everything? Like
Uh,
spicy enough.
no, it is far too spicy for YouTube.
Well, that's what I mean. It's too spicy for the platforms.
Oh yes.
But probably like medium or mild spicy for the rest of us
Yes.
in real life.
Oh yeah. It's spicy for the
All caked up.
Yeah, first of all, very good taste, but
Yes.
Wait, where is it? Where did you post it?
I posted in the
In our chat.
yeah.
yeah,
Boy,
that
they would never one that's artwork, one that's art. The other thing is too is original art. Like that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people would. That is not like you know, you'd probably get permission and stuff, but they'd have to make their own art. Yeah, that's a little too. That's cute, but yeah, that's just a little too sexy for the verse, I think.
I think CIG will definitely need to kind of manage those sorts of things. I think they could do contests.
Oh, it's original. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you just like, but I meant like the drawing of the woman. It looks like a Gil Elfgren print, almost. It's a little too modern.
You know, selling skins is was not an insignificant source of income for games like War Thunder, and they allow third-party skins. Yeah, but there's definitely some legal issues is the big thing. It's like, because what's going to happen is if you allowed players to make their own skins, they would instantly make a skin for the Fury that is just the TIE Fighter. And logos and all, and a skin for the Scorpius, which is just the X-Wing, logos and all. And that would end up being incredibly dangerous for them. Like mods is fine. Mods are fine. But
right.
And oh yeah, no, most were worse than in World War II, but this isn't a situation of World War II, a bunch of dudes in the 40s who were, very, 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 very excited, let's just say, or bricked up. Bricked up and stuck in the middle of nowhere for 2 years.
If you don't know what it means, Google it.
Yeah.
And they were also like, it was a morale builder.
Yeah.
Like, let them do this because they're probably not going to go home someday.
Yeah, exactly. I do think that
I like how Jane talks like she's a doctor. She's a doctor, not a stripper.
she's just paying her way through medical school. That's all.
She's 2 buttons away, right over the center of where where. She's 2 buttons away from maybe pulling something together there. But yeah,
if she's a doctor, it's not a very sanitary office. I'll tell you that.
I at first, like the thing is that what Jin is saying is something I thought would be probably a good idea. But the longer we've been in seeing Star Citizen, I think it's not. I do not believe it is it is a good idea for Star Citizen in the long term. I think the better idea would be something like decals that maybe players could submit and then CIG would like put in the game.
Right.
But like there's a process for it, and then that put in the game would be everyone can get access to it. So she's a doctor with a pole in her office. All right. Last question is from Fastcart, so it's going to be a doozy.
Yeah, of course.
How does the panel feel about the website changes thus far?
Oh, are there a bunch of website changes?
Look at the website right now. If you haven't seen it, go to robertspaceindustries.com.
Let's live react. Buster reacts to this website. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Scroll down.
Okay. I like these little buttons. Like it's essentially the same. Okay, we get like the title bumper, and it changes, but it's a little more visual. Like you could click on them a bit more obviously, so that's good. Okay, Squadron 42, Star Citizen, our games right up front and center. Good. I'm not logged in, so it's probably why it's right there. Expand your fleet. Yeah, this is a much more this is a much more user-friendly website. Like, I feel like to know the website, you kind of had to be around for a minute, just tool around in it. But this is like a little bit better for the newcomer.
The one thing I will say is, if you look at it, the front and center, the first thing you see is CitizenCon 2954 digital goodies pack available now. It just like buy money, give us money. Like,
Hey,
I
look,
don't like
that's a fact to CIG at this point. Like, I know, I agree with you, Paul. But I like getting into that discussion. It always leaves us all in tears every time.
Yeah.
So
I would say
I think it's a more visually sharp and pleasing website. It looks a lot better. It looks like a freaking games website. It doesn't look like a side project website anymore. Not that I'm being rude, but it's so much cleaner. It's I'll say it. I hate to do this because I hate saying it about inanimate objects because I think it's dumb sometimes, but it's sexier.
Yeah. It's a lot more modern, I would say. The only suggestion I would say is
it's a lot more welcoming to the new player, for sure.
I would always suggest the CIG, instead of having like whatever the latest one is, the first one, always have the first thing that plays be the latest update.
Yeah.
So like, right. Because the second update, the thing that plays is the Alpha 3.24 Cargo Empires. That should be the first one, even if there's newer ones that come out. That should always be the first one, because the first thing that people should see is this is a video game and this is the latest update. So people know that's the latest update. So
Red J, did you see the website? What do you think?
Yeah, so I've seen it a few times now. It's only last week or something it came out or something.
Very
golly.
recently,
yeah. One of the things I'm doing while we were talking is I put it up on my phone because it's the first time I'm looking on my phone.
Oh,
that's a good point.
Good idea. That's the real test. Look at you.
Yeah, it looks
You're a
good
genius,
on
Norton. Oh, that's so much. Oh God, are you kidding me? Do they have a mobile site that doesn't always give me the, do you want to join the verse? Papa, oh my God.
Yeah.
Welcome to the website.
That, and I'm always scared whenever they fiddle with the website, because I'm like, I don't want them to mess too much with the store and take away a feature, or the CCU game mess with it or something. But CIG, if you ever watch this, please leave extras and all in the store. Do not fiddle with the back, with like the stuff the actual tools that we need to see everything. That's all I beg of you. But yeah, this looks great on the mobile.
This is fantastic. This is literally the best the website's ever been on mobile. Like, I feel like I actually want to use. I hate using the website on mobile. It's like such a pain in the ass.
It would crash my phone back just a few years ago.
I never had it. But no, it never has crashed my phone. But it's just annoying because it's just the website and it's crushed all in. But this is like a lot more intentional and.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, dude, go ahead.
Robin, it kept my account. I just closed the whole thing, came back, and it remembered it was me.
That's
if that helps you at all.
Oh, what? It remembered you on the phone? Oh, what? What I hate is when I change like Wi-Fi and it changes, and it's like, can you not see that it's the same freaking device? It may not be on the same network, but it's the same device.
Yeah, I was just using Chrome on the iPhone for what.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to test that later and like sign in at home and then like go to my next door neighbor's house and sign. Like, I steal his Wi-Fi all the time when I need it. And go over. He doesn't use it. He goes to the ranch and shoots pigs. So I'll have to go over to his place or something later and then try to like interact with the site again and see if it prompts me to re-sign in. That would be nice to know. But yeah, it's a lot more visually pleasing overall, web and mobile.
Yeah, it looks a lot better, I think, in general.
Yeah, and it's simple. It's like simple too. I like the simplicity of it. While it's also very complicated, you know, it's got a lot going on, but it's the line, like all the design, the aesthetic of it is really nice.
Yeah,
it really highlights the beauty of the game, which is important.
My only notes again comes from the fact that CIG needs to make sure that they always are highlighting that it's a video game and that there are updates to the game, because that'll let people go, oh, this is a game, and they're updated. They have updates. Oh, then they're doing a sale. Oh, this is a ship that's coming out. Oh, this is the event that's coming out. Oh, this is another event.
According to some YouTube thumbnails, it it's real life.
It's real
and it's
life.
like a fighter pilot from like somewhere else in the world,
because they steal Star Citizen's art for every YouTube thumbnail about military technology that exists.
It's ridiculous. It's but it's cool. Like, I would actually take it as a compliment if I was over there. I'd be like, oh, that's actually cool that like these people always put our shit in, because it's like, oh, this is actually the most believable look of like what future humanity's vehicles look like.
Yeah. What is the redacted in the goodies pack? We don't know. The redacted is something they'll show off at CitizenCon.
Yeah, they always do that kind of thing. They always have stuff they're gonna wait till CitizenCon to let you know about.
I think it's like they say that like 2 of them.
I bet it's Pico neck tattoos.
Yeah.
It's vouchers to go to the local tattoo shop, or they'll hire a tattoo.
Oh yeah.
That is something I would do if I was CIG. Like, the first person that like gets like a neck tattoo of Pico, I would be like, oh my God, you get like some stuff.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's the last question. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this, hit that follow button here on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, and hit the like button if you're watching this after the fact as well, or during the fact. It's always good. And comment down below what your thoughts are. Of course, check out Buster Destroyer and Buster the Destroyer at all of her social medias. And make sure you check out Red J on all of their social medias, especially if you like Star Citizen, like
fashion
and fashion. And gosh, what is the other ones I was going to say? Lore and like in-depth statistics and looks at different ships. They got you covered. So definitely check them out. Thank you for watching, and like I say every time, hope to see you someday in the black.
But we'd also like to see you in cream sometimes, because that's a really nice color.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah.